Hello everyone and welcome back to a Satisfactory tour, not a tutorial, but just a tour of a base I've been working on. Now this is only going to be one building and specifically iron manufacturing. So it's actually not this foundations right here. This is actually something I did like way before update 3, but here you can kind of see the start of the base. So all of the stuff that we're going to be passing right here is all just for conveyance and connecting all the different ore nodes that we need to get over to the main base, because we will need quite a bit because we're making 2 of these buildings at the least, so we might be even making more. Now I do want to specify that this is just a creative build. This is not, one of my builds for my survival series. I just want to make sure that's clear. But then when we come up, you can kind of get this cool entrance vibe right underneath. But then here is the building. So this building has been taking a lot of work and a lot of design to try and get this almost as organized and as compact as I could possibly get it. So the total building in itself requires 882 power, because I can actually read you off the statistics. We have 50 constructors, 28 smelters, and 38 assemblers. So we have quite a bit of stuff. Now I am using a couple mods, so I should be able to fly nowadays, and I'm loving it because it makes life so much easier, especially for a creative mode. So a couple of things that you might notice right away are these pipes, and apparently a lot of people didn't know that you could use these with pipes, like, actually putting your supports in here and then just having your pipes run in them, because I shared this on Reddit and a lot of people were very surprised and said, I'm going to use that idea. So here is a new idea for you guys if you haven't seen it before. But I'm going to run you through, I'm going to turn off my flying. I'm going to run you through the entire building and show you what this looks like, because this is a pretty big building, but it's all super organized and should be super easy to follow what we're doing. And it is symmetrical, so you can kind of see like what we have here is iron manufacturing. You can actually see this one's up and running. This one over here isn't yet, but these two are actually making the exact same thing. So pretty much each thing being built is being doubled because we have one on the other side of the wall doing the same thing. And I guess let's start on this side because we actually have stuff running over here. So what you're going to see is we have ore coming in from this side. So this one's actually coming underneath, and the reason why it's going underneath is just so we can still maintain like a little parking area here. This allows us to keep some access. And so we come in here with the iron. We're going to split, and I feel like really short for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like just really short. So we come in here, and we're actually making plates. And this, what are we running at efficiency? 99% efficiency. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. So we might want to lower the speed of the belts, and then this one is backing up. Interesting. Alright, so I'll need to look at that. So there's still some refinement to do to make this as efficient as possible. One of the things that could definitely be done to do that would just be, let's lower those to Mark II, because we're running, actually it was running at 100% efficiency, so the Mark IV belt actually keeps it running at 100% efficiency. It's just upstairs that we're slowing things down. So anyways, we're making plates here. Alright, and then we can come down this other way, slide underneath that conveyor. I love that feature. Slide underneath again, because our door here is now we're making screws. So if you can't tell, what we're making right above us is going to be reinforced iron plates, which I actually did do a tutorial on. So when we get up to that, I will have a card up in the top right that will link you to that video if you want to see how to make this kind of setup. And it's actually very, very simple, and this setup also works with rotors as well. Just rotors instead of plates, you just need rods. And so similar setup here, so very much the same setup, with iron going in with screws, but then also this one's making rods, because like I said, we can also use the same setup for rotors. Come underneath here. So over here, we're not fully started up yet, because here we're actually going to be making some of the more advanced, like the smart plating that requires, maybe reinforced plates, but then also motors, or whatever it is. I can't remember like the exact ingredients. But what this is doing is making more of those advanced parts. And you'll see when we get over to some of these later rooms, they're a lot smaller. Most of the rooms are 3x3 or 3x4. And some of these rooms now are actually going to be too wide because we don't need as much equipment, because we're only going up to 2 assemblers to make the parts that we need. I was in between like saying plates and parts. So that's why I was like, parts. Yeah, so we just have more constructors in here. Again, all of this stuff is symmetrical. So whatever you see on this side, you would see on the other side as well. So kind of similar setup all the way down here. And when we're all done, we're going to have ore coming in this side as well to feed this, side of the, what do you call it? Like this side of the building. So also the building is symmetrical on both ends as well. So we also still have a parking side over here, just no conveyance over here right now. So what we can do is walk up the stairs And so one of the things I did add, I wanted a lot of easy access. So we also have those pipes running inside as well. And you might be wondering, why do I have these here? It's just so if I ever do need to connect anything, these pipes are already here and I have the accessibility to use them. And so it's just allowing me to keep things organized and very, very clean. But I have this little access platform here, which allows me to walk, very easily and see what's going on just from a top point of view and see how things are running. And then we can also access both sides of the building. Again, symmetrical, you can see here. And I really do love the colors. I'm using like a dark gray, but then like for the accent colors, I'm using like a darker red. And I really like it. I think it's looking great. I also have red on the floors here because this is where all the production is coming in from. So up to the second floor, you can kind of get access to the pipes here. We don't have anything in them now. But once we get up top, here's where we get to a lot more of the compact setup, and this is where everything's actually being made. So we're taking those parts that we made downstairs, and I guess we can actually go over to the other side where we're actually making that stuff. So head over to the other side. Alright, so we actually are making stuff on this side, not on that one. No, we are. Perfect. So we can go into this one. So this one, I think we're making the rotors on this setup. Yep, so we're running at 20% efficiency, so we need to slow down the rods or increase the efficiency on the screws. The screws are usually the one thing that we're lagging behind on, so I think I need to overclock the screws, which I think it should be pretty simple to do, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, so what we're doing is pretty much taking those items up. You can see the screws coming in over here. We're going to follow this. It's going to come into the splitter, and then 2 and 2 goes into the separate ones over here. So that's pretty much what we're doing, and I think, like I was mentioning, I can increase the speed of some of these items as well, because here you can kind of see we're still running low on screws. So maybe what we would do is, again, without doing all these statistics yet, because I'm still trying to, like I mentioned, fine-tune the setup, but what we're doing is just splitting the 2 items. Each item splits into 2, and then goes into the assemblers. So you're going to see this setup pretty much the same throughout everything. Where it starts to get a little bit more complicated is over here. So over here is where I was talking about we're making more of the advanced parts. So what you can see here is we have bigger rooms because we're having to make reinforced iron plates. We're having to remake, what are some of the other items? I guess I don't have these fully set up yet. Modular frames maybe? And so what we're doing is we're taking the stuff from these 4 assemblers, but then we're merging them into this one. And this one, I really wish I knew what this was making. I just can't remember off the top of my head because I've been working on this for so long. It's either it's making the modular frames, which part of me thinks it might be because I think we have screws coming up here. So I think we're making modular frames, which we also need reinforced plates. So we're merging all the reinforced plates that we're making down there into this machine. But then it's coming out of this machine and then up and out. And then whoop, we go all the way over back to where we came in. And you might be wondering, why did I have it come all the way over? It's just because we had more free space over here to use. And so then we're coming up. And then the floor 3, the floor above us, what we're actually doing is using that for storage. So at some point, we are going to have more of these buildings like I mentioned at the beginning. And the plan is when we get up to the 3rd floor here, there we go, we have a lot of storage. So you can see that we have the rotors here. Is that right? Yep, the rotor. But then I don't think we have anything on that one yet. So pretty much all this is just storage. Now we have a lot of empty space right here. You might be wondering, why aren't you filling that up with more storage containers? The reason why is this is actually going to be a main busway system to where the next building I make, if I want to connect the 2, I'm going to utilize the space here to get the conveyance in and out, whatever I need to do with it. It gives me the space to do that because, in all honesty, we have plenty of storage. We have the 4 double tall storage containers, which we're already at 55 on this one, but then we have 3 on this side. So I think we're fine because it's coming up and splitting. So we should be fine on, the amount of stuff that we're getting into this. But like I was saying, a lot of this space will be used just for routing, conveyor to other buildings. And speaking of other buildings, you can see another one over here. So that building over there looks very much the same as the one we're in. And that's because it will be the exact same, another iron building. But I plan on having more buildings. I'm going to turn on flying again. We're going to have more buildings for a lot of different things because we're going to have one for iron production like what we have with these 2 right here. But then we're also going to have another one for steel manufacturing. We're going to have another for, liquid storage. We're going to have a power room, power building, whatever you want to call it. But this is the kind of the start of everything I wanted to do, because I wanted to make everything as organized as possible, and so far this is what I've come up with. And I think the more I keep messing around with all the new stuff that's come into the game, I'm going to find more and more stuff that I can do, and I want to share that stuff with you guys, because, you know, I kind of got the feeling that when I was sharing some of these pictures on Reddit, you know, I feel like a lot of people, I'm not going to say don't know, but like maybe they didn't think of, you know, a certain design before, but now they're looking at it going, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm going to use that. And I love that feeling of giving you guys something that maybe you didn't think was possible before, but then once you see, you're like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. It's such a good idea. And hopefully that's the kind of stuff that I'm giving to you guys. Like I said, one of the more common things that I saw from that Reddit post was just using these pipes for, you know, or using these, what are they called? I forgot what they're like, the frames, the foundations, the foundation frames, but then putting pipe in them and putting pipe in them instead of maybe conveyor, which is what a lot of people are using them for. But I think this looks just fantastic. And another reason why I also kind of sunk the road right here is, one, to give us more space underneath the piping, but also I plan on having a truck and like pick up and drop off point. So another building we're going to have is the manufacturing building, where we have a lot of the manufacturers, and that's where the busway system up top comes into, you know, its own, and that's where everything's going to, you know, connect and make everything that we need. Now, how the space elevator is going to fit into all that, don't know yet. There's still a lot of stuff to figure out, but I think overall this base has been a great start. I'm super happy to finally say, like, I think I have a good design to start with. Now it's trying to figure out how can we keep the same building design, but then incorporate that with other disciplines, like I was mentioning with steel production, or also like power or the manufacturing side. So thank you for watching, guys. It is greatly appreciated as always. Hopefully you guys like this video, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you do like any more of these videos, I have some on this end card right here, so go check those out, and hopefully those will help you. And one of the other things I was mentioning was we do have this set up here in a tutorial. So again, if you want, click the card or just click the end of the video if it's available to you. And talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.